This is a just a quick recording to kind of go over what we talked about yesterday in golf performance class. I've got two pictures of Rory McIlroy pulled up here. The picture on the on the left side of the screen is a picture of him hitting a driver, and just kind of some setup differences. The picture on the right is obviously him hitting an iron. But just wanted to show you kind of the differences, but there's also a couple similarities that I think are really important. One, if we just look at the driver setup, we talked about stance width and the importance of stance width. Um, the difference between a driver and an iron, his base is a little bit more narrow with an iron. And what we talked about yesterday is to find, kind of your natural position that you not need to stand in, and trying to feel like you're trying to jump and do those 360 jumps like that we were doing the other day. If you stand too wide, you're not going to be able to use the ground effectively enough and get high enough to be able to spin all the way around. If you stand too narrow, same thing. So you see Roy with the driver is just slightly wider than his hips. Um, with an iron, he's set up a little bit more underneath his hips, but just trying to find that position where you can jump up and down the highest um, is really important. And we talked about the importance of having level hips and a vertical spine. You see Roy's hips right here are very level. His spine, he's not tilted, towards the target or away from the target. If I remeasure those lines, you'll see that they're pretty close to zero. Um, Zero in his hip tilts. Pretty much 1 degree away from the target in his spine tilt. Over here on the right, you see we talked about from a face-on view. We talked about the belt buckle and your buttons on your shirt lining up. And you can see Roy does a really nice job of that. He set that just behind the golf ball. This is a wedge that he's hitting, so the ball positions pretty much off of his left eye. And you'd see, as the clubs get longer, that ball position would creep further and further forward. But all in all, this is just a good overall indicator of things that you need to monitor in your setup. Um, it's an extremely important part of being consistent. I hear people always say that they want to be more and more consistent. Well, in order to do that, you have to build in really good habits. And monitoring your setup is a fundamental for golf. I mean, you have to have a good, consistent setup that allows you to not have to make big manipulations in your golf swing. But it's a good video to watch, good video to reference, and hope you learned something. Thank you.